Hello everyone. We have a game with the white pieces against Magazine Mithran. What is this gambit that everyone's doing? Why? What is this? Okay, so I keep trying to get into a Jababa London, but they keep giving us pawns, so we're gonna take them to speed up their development. Fine. We're up one pawn, they're up development. But it's our turn. Knight out. Gives us a check. Okay, so to reduce the advantage in development, I'm gonna defend with force because I'm attacking the bishop. He defends it. So now we could remove some advantage and trade pieces. We could also play c3, we could play a3, we could have developed our knight, we could have played e3, doesn't even matter. So he retreats with the bishop. There's a bunch of moves we can play. I'm going to harass his pieces with my pawns. I'm going to go b4, see what he wants to do with the bishop. He places it here, which discoordinates his pieces. Doesn't look very nice. I'm going to go g3. Why g3? I'm developing my light square bishop in a way that does a bunch of things. It blunts his bishop. Also, I don't want to play e3 and stop my own bishop. You know, I don't want to block the diagonal. And I can't play e4 because the knight was covering it. So now he jumps in to attack my light square bishop, or my dark square bishop, but I'm just going to keep developing. I'm just going to fianchetto. He can take this if he wants, and that would help me develop my other knight, which doesn't have the, the c3 square. Yes, you're giving up a bishop, which is not ideal, but your other bishop's great. He has a weird thing going on here. I'm up a pawn. I have no problems, so I can't really complain. Okay, so he develops his queen. This does threaten the pawn. So we're gonna defend the pawn for free with knight e4, defending the pawn and counterattacking. Wow, and he resigns. That's crazy, but okay. So anyway, center and development. Free stuff. What is this? Is this a thing? Okay, it's a gambit, so why not keep going? Let's take it. Development and center. Forced move. I mean, c3 is a free move. It's way better than bishop d2. But bishop d2 is perfectly fine. Knight d2 is perfectly fine. But yeah, c3 makes the most sense probably. Anyway, we put the bishop here. We play c3 after. It's just a free move that controls the center. b4 is just a free move that controls the center in the sense that if his bishop goes off this diagonal, it's not controlling the center. He does go off the diagonal, and now I keep developing. He goes here, development and center. He goes here, force move. He goes here, improve for free. I don't think he needed to resign if he just goes back. I don't know. Let's say here, if I take the bishop, he can just take back. He doesn't lose the bishop, but maybe he didn't see that. We'll get another game since that's only 4 minutes. And we're up against Gillimar with the black pieces. Maybe we get a caro-kann. And let's find out. e4, c6. Okay, knight f3. Nobody's played d4 yet. But we're still going to play d5 and attack the center on the light squares in caro-kann style. He'll probably take. If not, we'll take. He could push past. Okay, he takes. And now we have no problems with our development. He plays d4. We simply develop a piece towards the center. Okay, he develops the other knight. We do the same thing. A piece towards the center, minor piece. He develops another minor piece, pins our knight. Maybe he's trying to come in with, you know, more pressure. So we're going to do the same thing, pin his knight so he can't jump in and apply that more pressure. And these are very, you know, solid positions for both sides. Okay, so now he goes bishop f4, looking at the dark diagonal in my position. Okay. That's fair. I want to resolve this tension and see what he wants to do with the bishop. Is he going to trade or is he going to go back? If he trades, I get the bishop and I get pawn support for my center. Two things I want. If he doesn't trade and goes back, maybe you can take in the center or take the knight first and then take the pawn in the center when the queen takes. So it all depends on what he does. But yes, if I take this knight and the queen goes here, there is this knight takes idea. So you got to be careful. He goes back this way, but this looks weird because I can break the pin when he goes here, take here, and when he goes here, take here, hitting the queen. Queen has to move, and then I could take the bishop and play e6. So that's what I'm going to do. Hopefully that wasn't too much for you to follow. I'm clearly just breaking the pin. That's the point of b5. I only want to break the pin so that I can move the knight. I only want to move the knight so I could take this pawn. In order to take the pawn, I have to take the knight. He might see all this once I take the knight and then say, oh, let me recapture with the g-pawn so I don't lose the center. But then he'll have weak pawns over here, so... Oh, never mind. He's sacking. What the heck? Well, we're not going to calculate. We're just going to accept 2 pawns for the piece. He's attacking our knight. So we need to defend with force. What's the best, most forceful move? Queen a5 check. Hits the bishop. Normally, you get to develop a knight, protect the bishop, and block the check, but that's not a thing here. So does it not just lose a piece? And so I appreciate the sacrifice by Guillemar. 2 pawns for a minor piece, not that bad actually. With a pin pressure for free. Uncastled king, you know, nice developed pieces. He has a lot going for him, and I like the mindset. He's not afraid. It just happens to lose a piece here because of queen a5. So he blocks the check and loses the piece. It also happens to block him from castling, which is super annoying. It wasn't my intention, but that's the square the piece was on when I took it, right? I don't care about this stuff. I just want to trade him up stuff, and I want to castle. I just want my king to be safe. What is he supposed to do? I mean, there's nothing to do once you're down a piece, really. So he stops his pawn, but it wastes his whole turn. You can see how detrimental wasting an entire turn will be. So, I mean, you have a ton of moves. You could have taken the knight, you could have jumped your knight in. But I just want to castle, so I'm going to put the pawn here so I can get my bishop out. He's attacking my queen probably so he can castle. So I want to stay on this diagonal so that he can't castle. And if he blocks it, he hangs the pawn. Otherwise, I'm ready to develop my piece and castle myself. Okay, so now he goes here trying to create the fork, but that also creates an outpost for my queen. that he can only kick with the knight or with his own queen. Okay, he does it with the knight, but that hangs his queen. So I'm going to take his queen. You had better moves, but who cares? He gets a queen, I get a queen. Uh, I'll get a knight, he'll get the bishop. At the end of the day, I'm up a piece, so he can take whatever. Um, Now I can do so many things. This pawn is hanging, so that's a thing. I think I should take the pawn immediately so he doesn't use these two pawns because they are two connected passed pawns, so let's get rid of one of them. Okay, now we have two knights for one pawn. That's the balance. We have this really cool move here, which threatens stuff. It improves a piece for free. It blockades the center. It does so many things in one. Hopefully you can appreciate a move like this and how strong it is. And how this is an easy move to see. Like, this is easily strong. Everyone can find a move like this. He just retreats, but that hangs everything. That pawn was cementing this structure. Now he lost the pawn. He's going to lose the structure. It all collapses in spectacular fashion. And we still never moved our king. We still haven't castled. But we are up 2 knights. So he attacks our knight, but this... Poor guy. I feel bad. So we take free stuff, and then we, well, this is hanging. This is hanging. This is hanging. So let's take with the rook, just to protect this. I know it doesn't develop a piece, but we're up 9 points of material, and he's hanging everything just for this random check that helps our king improve. So our king is more than happy on d7. It loves d7. And now we have it supported d6 for our bishop because our king's on d7. It's just not looking good for white. Okay, so he moves his rook. Not sure what that does. Let's go here. The square is covered from checks. He also has back rank issues if he moves his rook. And this will be the end of the game very shortly. We still haven't had a proper Jabava or even a real caro-kann, kinda. I mean, this is kind of like the exchange, but then it went off the tracks very quickly. So he just hangs his rook. Yeah, and that's that. So let's go through the game. Caro-kann, and he goes down this exchange line. So this is the exchange. We just bring both of our knights out, very standard. And now he's doing the same thing, applying pressure. We just keep doing the same thing. Development and center, development and center. Nothing crazy. Hey, 99. Usually when I have all zeros, it tells me I have 98%. But in this case, all zeros, 99. I don't know why, but I'll take it. So, anyway, we put the question to the bishop because we want this tension resolved so he can't apply more pressure to it. We don't want this to be a thing. I don't want to have to defend this. It's kind of hard to defend with bishop slicing through. So just ask the bishop, what are you doing? And if he goes back, you're happy. He goes back this way, which is weird because you have this sequence where you can kick it and win the central pawn. But he sacks and it goes from -1 and change to -5. So the sack doesn't work specifically because queen a5 wins a piece, so it definitely doesn't work. Otherwise, he did have a lot going for him. But as it hangs a piece, it hangs a piece. And then he makes random moves, so we just develop and center. Force move. Force move because he's threatening a fork. Force move because he's threatening your queen. Force move because he's hanging stuff. Force move, well, not force move, but free stuff. -7. Because these pawns are, well, these pawns are his only asset. His only win condition. So we take it. Improve for free. Free stuff. Improve for free. Free stuff. Free stuff. Free stuff. Free stuff. Improve. Forcing move. Development center. Free stuff. I love these low ELO games because they're so easy to just be like, hey, look, center, development, force move, free stuff. And it always just follows that path. The higher rated games, they don't always, um, it's not like every single move. Here, it's every single move. It always works like that. So hopefully this helps. If you are lower rated, just play in the center and develop your pieces. Take free stuff. Good to go. Submit your games in my Discord. Good luck in your chess. Goodbye.